Hi Aquarius, my name is Gregory Scott. Thank you for joining me. This is your astrology and tarot forecast for January 2015. It's the new year. It's the first month of the new year. So let me have a look at what you'll be influenced by and what you'll be working with. You really start the month focusing on other people and how you can be of service. Now that may not sound like the most exciting thing, but it's almost like you're re-evaluating what you do for work, you're questioning how you come across and really what your role is in the world. Do you contribute in a positive way or do you take? And that's an important question. It may not be party central, you know, it may not be a phone party in terms of fun levels, but it's an important question in terms of where am I going in my life. By the time the 4th comes, 4th of January that is, Venus goes into Aquarius in the first house. And Mars is sitting in that first house as well in Aquarius. And when these two come together, it's the conception of something new. Now the first house is self. And you really start to realize something about yourself that wasn't there before. So if you've been selling credit cards and you at the beginning of January kind of realize that's not what it is exactly that you want to be doing. By the 4th, you start to get ideas about where your talents really lie, how you can help other people, what it is you care about, and you start to see that and it starts to formulate within your own mind. So really, that's important at the beginning of this month. Keep an eye out on that. The full moon occurs on the 5th of January, and that happens in the 6th house in Cancer. At the same time, Mercury goes into Aquarius in your first house. So all of this new idea, it will really blossom into altering your daily life in some way. So, you know, I mean, this can be very practical. So you realize that you want to no longer sell credit cards, for instance, but you want to be a musician or you want to be a teacher. You then say, okay, I can make the change. I'm going to sign up to be a student and get my teaching qualification, and that really alters your daily life. And I see that happening very, very quickly for you at the beginning of January, that you realize something about yourself is off and that you want to make changes to, and you implement those changes straight away. Now, I've given you a really, really big example, someone changing their career completely. It may just be something much smaller, like you realize that you criticize a lot and you decide that you don't want to criticize anymore, and you change your daily routine in terms of the way you speak and communicate by not criticizing people. And that's a huge alteration too, but it looks different in terms of your daily routine, okay? Mars goes into Pisces on the 12th, and that happens in your 2nd house of finances and assets. And I really feel that 2014 has been quite difficult for you money-wise, and that you've kind of let go of the dream of what you wanted to achieve. Basically, on the 12th of January, you get your motivation back, you pick yourself up off the ground, you dust yourself off, and you're ready to go forward. So you really get back on your feet and you are able to move forward. The new moon happens on the 20th. And that's interesting for you because it's on the cusp of the 12th house and the 1st house. The sun is in Aquarius, it moves into Aquarius on this day, and the moon is at 1 degree behind still in Capricorn. So it's almost like you focus on what your life has been and the way it ought to be, or the way you want it to be. The 12th house is like the end of the year, and the 1st house is the beginning of the year. It's almost like life and death. It's like this is what's been, this is what's coming, and you're sitting right on that cusp of life and death, you know, metaphorically speaking. And this is really the 20th of January and the beginning of this year really for you is a soul-searching event. And it's like, who am I? What am I doing? Am I helping other people? Am I helping myself? Am I happy with what I'm doing? And you really ask big, important questions. And I mean, you're quite philosophical anyway. But I don't think you take all the responsibility for what's happened in 2014, and you're asking questions more objectively without taking all the blame or taking all the responsibility. And this is a process of kind of getting new energy back into your spiritual system and saying, what is all this? And then you're questioning it, and you're you know, it's a mishmash, and you get energy from that, and it motivates you and allows you to move forward, whereas you've been a little bit stagnant recently. Okay. Mercury then goes into retrograde on the 21st of January and it stays there until the 11th of Feb. So expect things to slow down a little bit, and what I'd really like you to focus on is taking practical action, making use of your motivation and just putting action into place. Being very busy during this time, and to stop questioning that from the 21st and what's my life all about. Use the beginning of the month to do that, and then take practical action in the latter part of this month. And also communicate differently, be quirky, and enjoy your relationships because those are going really well at this time. Business, personal, romantic, all of that going very well. Finally, Venus goes into Pisces at the end of the month, and really this is the time when you're going to be happiest at work and you're really going to be making some inroads. I really see you starting at almost ground zero at the beginning of January. Things in 2014 haven't necessarily worked out. What am I going to do next? You really start to think about things. You really start to put some new actions in. You alter your daily routine. By the time the end of the month comes around, you've already found something that you genuinely love and enjoy, and you're applying yourself to that on a day-to-day basis. So I really see things changing from kind of a little bit of aimlessness and lack of progress to, by the end of the month, completely being focused and being on the path and steadily moving forward. I'm going to draw a card now to summarize this month and give you the overall theme. And the card is the Five of Swords. Okay, so really, Five of Swords, think about you and the way your life is and the way you would like it to be. It's important not to compromise all the time, and sometimes it's important of, this is my life and what am I going to do with it. Have a wonderful month. If you'd like a private reading with me, please visit my website. It's gregoryscott.com. Remember to subscribe to the channel, and you can also find me on Facebook, facebook.com/gregoryscott444. I'm using the Radiant Rider Waite deck for this reading. Let's see what's coming up. Okay.